Okay, I guess we can start again. So let me share my screen again. So, so for store procedure, as I mentioned, we can see a small example. Uh, Maybe we can create a table or bank. Maybe I mean that's ID integer. Maybe we can also say default. So this is nothing but it will just create it in sequence, and I can just add name. Okay, and I can add balance, which can be integer, and I will assign primary key as ID. Okay, so we will just create one table called bank. So this table has been created. Then we will just insert into bank. So since we gave ID as an increment, we don't need to give as a parameter. So balance values, we can say I will take my name Arishan 1500. Okay, I can just copy this 4 times, and I can say who are the participant today. So one is Miro. I will give you 2500, and the other participant is I'll give you 3500. The other one is line. I will give her 5000 then. So we can just insert this data. So to check whether we have all the data, we can just say select star from bank. Okay. So we can see all the information, right, in a sequence. So we have created a table now. Now we will try to create a store procedure. So we create procedure operation or something. Okay. And as I mentioned, we need to give the parameters inside. So what we have, so what are the inputs we will give actually? So we can consider a normal transaction. So we can have sender, which can be integer, receiver, which can be again integer. So these are the IDs of them. So whether it can be Harish or Miro or India or Feline. So these are the ID, and the balance can be again integer. So we are trying to give us an input to the store procedure as three parameters. One is the sender, receiver, and the balance. So these three are the three things which we are giving. I guess balance we will not use it. We will use it amount so that it will not clash. So then the next step, as we have seen, language, that what is a PLPG SQL. Then we will do this. We will create dollar. For this store procedure, we will not include any variables. for the stored procedure, we will just start with our operation because we already get as a dynamic input for the stored procedure. So we will begin, and what we can do is so we can have something like sending money from one user to other user. So we can just update the information in the table. Okay, so we already mentioned it's going to be an SQL language. So between begin and end, you will write some SQL queries which will do this operation and it will update the table. So we will do update bank, which is the table name. Okay, we will set the balance equal to balance minus the amount which we give as an input, where ID equal to sender. You got what I'm trying to do. So I'm just trying to update the bank table and set the balance, reduce the balance of the sender. Okay, it's basically that we are just reducing the balance. And one more update we need to do is we need to update bank and we need to set the balance equal to balance plus amount. So this is for the receiver. So that if I send 500 to Miro, so it should reduce from mine and it should increase to Miro. So that's what we are trying to do. And in this case, we are trying to update the information, and I am trying to update it permanently. So I am trying to give commit. So that will be added permanently, and I am ending it and I am just closing it. I guess this should work. Okay, so after that you can see it in the procedure. Okay, operation send in something, whatever. So operation is our procedure name. So I can add here. So we have added the operation. Now what we need to do? So we need to do call operation, that is the store procedure. Okay, I am going to do an operation on 2 and 3. Okay, and the amount is 500. So that is the operation which I'm doing on second user ID and third user ID. And see, this input can be anything. You can give, instead of ID, if it is confusing, you can give the name. So as an input you can give as a string. So you can give whatever you want. So this will complete the operation of store procedure. We can check the table, like select start from bank again, and you can see where is 2 and 3. It was 1500 and 3500. I guess 2500 and 3500. So Miro has been reduced to 2000 and NGA has been added to 4000. So we will make another operation. We can say 2 and 2 on 1. Maybe I will get 1000 euros from Miro maybe. So if you perform the operation again and if you can check it, so I have added 1500 additionally, 1000 euros additionally, and Miro got reduced to 1000. So this is how store procedure works. So when compared to your assignment, okay, you can use the same format, but the major part where it differs is this parameter part. Okay, you have to give your own parameter which is required. Okay, for example, let us see this one. The first thing, we need to give the amount of days. For example, instead of these 3, we might be using the days and whatever, what is that, customer ID and order ID, cust ID and order ID, and based on the type we can change it, whether it's time, stamp, or date variable or whatever. And here is the operation which you need to focus on. So instead of this operation, For example, for the first one, you can, what is that first one? You have to add a data, right? So you can just say required date equal to the inputs days plus required date, required days or something, whatever the column value is. And you can just change it to a time frame. For the second one, the same thing. You can just what is the second one, add 10% to the freight money. So you can just add like freight equal to, so whatever you are doing it before, you should add like update the order table, order set freight equal to freight into 10 or whatever into 110 divided by 100 or 11 by 10 or whatever. So it will set all the freight value to this. So these are, I mean, I'm giving out these are potential answers. Actually, I should not give it, but this is how you can use this store procedure. But for the last one, you need to add one more step, because we need to add a column before using it. So before creating this procedure, you can just add like alter table, and this is the table name, add column or whatever, add column, and you can give the column name and column name, and you can also define the type. What is the type? Maybe if it is boolean, you can type boolean, whatever. So after that, this table will have one more column additional. After that, you can create a procedure and you can just call the procedure. So this is how you can work on stored procedure assignment. Some question, can you explain? I will understand what about, okay. So let us go back. So this is the procedure we created, right? So this is just a bank operation. I mean, it's not a bank operation. It's basically a money transferring operation between users. Okay. So for creating a procedure, I have given three parameters, like the, I will go one more back, the sender, receiver, and the amount. So I am considering the first input, whichever I am giving as a sender. So if you call operation 2 comma 1 comma 1000, 2 is the sender, 1 is the receiver, and how much is the amount. So that is the function. So if you see the operation, what it is doing. So if I say 2 as a sender, in this case Miro, okay, he is sending me 1000 euros. So what operation it is doing? It is reducing 1000 euros from Miro here, and it is adding 1000 euros to my account. So I mean, it's just an example of the store procedure which I am doing. So you can still do the same operation, for example. Okay, and if you see the table, Miro will have 0 rupees because he has sent again 1000 euros to me. So it's 3500 for me, and Miro doesn't have any amount. So, perfect. But forget about this bank operation or whatever operation we are doing. So this is the place where you have to be giving your SQL query. So for example, to make it even more simpler, try to think of a condition. For example, if you have worked in SQL, try to come up with a query which will solve this issue. For example, as I told you, for this freight cost, I can just round, using a round or something. I can use some condition, right? You can come up with the SQL query which needs to solve this issue in middle. Once you have come up with the SQL query, try to put that in the procedure and create a procedure. That's it. In that way, you can be able to easily create a stored procedure for this assignment actually. So is it clear? I mean, the stored procedure. Do you have any questions, comments? Uh, you can shoot whatever questions if you have apart from these two assignments actually. If you have any other general queries regarding the course or project or some other assignment which you may be doing,